Listen, that's the number one thing, is listening and soaking up the environment. I want them to learn, and that is so important with marketing in particular. You've got the foundations, but actually putting it into practice, there's a lot to learn, and marketing never stops learning. I also want them to take feedback really well.
Yeah.
When we give feedback positively or negatively, constructively, what are they doing with that feedback? Are they adapting? Are they applying it? Are they moving forward? Our marketing is all about people and people behaviour. And if you're working in any public or customer facing role, which most of those part-time positions are, hospitality and retail, you're customer facing. First thing is the CV is the first piece of communication. Think of it as your marketing document. This is the piece that's going to sell you to employers. So how is it being perceived? Don't make a generic blanket communication. I've seen it multiple times where I've received a communication which has clearly gone to every agency in Scotland. It's take the visible steps, be proactive, have the initiative. Just go and do it, just go and show up.
Basically, don't waste your summer,
Yeah.
right? If you got summer,
Go and travel, go and have fun, but create a bit of time for experience too.
Definitely. And the next thing I wanted to talk about, what do you want to see a junior to do in the first month when he just joined your team? What would you like him to do, or what you would like to see him doing?
Listen. That's the number one thing, is it's listening and soaking up the environment. I want them to learn, and that is so important with marketing in particular, is you've got the foundations, but actually putting it into practice, there's a lot to learn. And marketing never stops learning.
Yeah.
The trends change so fast, the techniques change so fast. And so you need to have a person that is very open to that learning process. So I want to see them listening. I want to see them engaging with their peers, asking a lot of questions. I want to see them showing a real keen interest in the clients and in the type of work that we're doing and the systems that we use, and just really digging deep. But I also want them to take feedback really well. So when we give feedback positively or negatively, constructively, what are they doing with that feedback? Are they adapting? Are they applying it? Are they moving forward? Are they showing progression and improving their own future abilities? That's pivotal. Because we can't teach that. That's a personal trait, that's a quality. And that's what I'm most looking for.
I see.
Idea generation as well, of course, because in the creative industry, we need to be full of ideas, and there's no such thing as a bad idea. So it's bringing that fresh perspective and maybe just something new to the table, fresh ideas, and being confident enough that they think they can share those ideas as well. I'd like to think we've created a safe space for that type of environment to allow younger marketers to do that.
I see. And do you think that early career marketers, like freshly graduates, have a problem with receiving a feedback?
I'll be honest, all of my direct experience with whether it's been student placements, come to join us for a few months, or whether it has been, we've even done mentorship programs with school children, secondary school children too. And also we've hired graduates. I've never really had a problem with anyone not taking the feedback on board. We've maybe been lucky, I don't know. They seem to absolutely apply it. Some may be applying it quicker than others. And having a slightly different pace in doing so, but certainly not being opposed to the feedback we're giving them. I think they've been pretty appreciative. And maybe that comes from back to that interview process where we are making sure we're taking the right people through the door in the first place, that they are already open to that anyway. So
I see, because I wanted to kind of follow up your answer on the fact that people that you've trained, that you've got in your team are sort of having these qualities already. And I think that this comes down to the fact that, well, probably you just have built this culture around the Prospect 13, that everyone who comes in there understands what is expected and what sort of qualities they need to have.
I think I'm very honest about that and upfront about that from the get-go. So if there was a misalignment in any way and they weren't that type of person, they probably wouldn't join us in the first place. They wouldn't want to be there. It's a two-way commitment, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would love to dig a little bit deeper in that question about the experience that we've talked earlier. If you still remember that hypothetical scenario we built, it's a person who doesn't really have a proper marketing experience role yet. But perhaps this person has some hospitality experience, like receptionist experience or any other non-marketing related experiences. How could this person translate the skills that he's earned into the marketing? So when he talks about marketing, when he goes to interviews, he can confidently say that, well, I have this done, I've done this and done that, and that actually relates to marketing.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing here is that marketing is all about people and people behavior. And if you're working in any public or customer facing role, which most of those part-time positions are, hospitality and retail, you're customer facing. So you are going to be building up skills that you don't even realize you're building while you're building them. And they're all applicable and transferable. So for example, if you're working in hospitality or retail, you are going to pick up communication skills.
Definitely.
Because you have to talk to people. And that's not just customers, that's your colleagues as well. You're also working under, quite fast-paced environments.
Definitely.
So being able to show what it's like to work under pressure, being able to work as a team, understanding customer behaviors as in, well, what makes them frustrated when they're in the cafe? Or what is it that makes them buy the second cup of coffee? This is upselling, it's persuasion, it's managing expectations. All of that is part of marketing. It's all about people behavior. So that's how you translate it. When you write in your CV that you are, serving coffee or whatever you're doing, tell me more. Don't just have the little line that says you work in the cafe. Tell me about that role. Actually explain it. And then on your LinkedIn, back it up. Put a post on LinkedIn that says, I dealt with this really challenging customer today that, start being a bit of a thought leader on that topics. Those things are really translating it then.
Definitely. So it's really important as well to be sort of active on the platforms where hiring managers are active and people from the industry as well.
Because we will look at them. Once we receive that CV, the first port of call will go and look at their LinkedIn profile. So make sure it aligns.
When you look at the person LinkedIn for the first time, like let's say they put a link in their CV for the LinkedIn profile, are you bothered by not having like a picture there of their face or like a background picture? What are you actually looking for?
I think it's important on LinkedIn to have a photo. You don't need to have a background. I think, it'd be nice if you can, and it's something of relevance. Remember, it's a business platform though, so be careful what you put there. I'm not a fan of photos on CVs, funnily enough. I don't know, it's just a personal thing. So it wouldn't put me off a CV, don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't be my choice to do that. I think that, what else would you like to know about a LinkedIn profile?
I was just wondering, because since I've been speaking with lots of students in the past, I've seen lots of different profiles and some of them look really, really good, sometimes even better than mine does and probably any other people from the industry as well. But some of them look quite empty. And I'm not even talking about the fact that probably, okay, let's say this person has a picture, has a background, maybe a little about section as well. No posts, no activity.
Yeah, they have to engage. And that means, building up a network early, whether it's online and socially versus in physical person is really important. But it's about following the right people as well. And engaging on the right group and content. And so, we would want to see activity. And that doesn't mean you have to post every week, but certainly posting milestones or observations that you've made, connections that you want to highlight. I think that's important.
Well, guys, you better start taking note because Cerri's just providing gems right here. Thank you very much for that.
No bother.
And I would love to hear, and I believe not only myself, but people who are watching this right now would love to get a little sample of your advice on this particular question. What sort of like 5 most important things you would want a person to, after watching this video, to go and have a look on their CV and on their LinkedIn? Something to change maybe, something to pay more and closer attention, or something to develop, expand.
Okay. First thing is the CV is the first piece of communication. Think of it as your marketing document. This is the piece that's going to sell you to employers. So how is it being perceived? And that doesn't mean it needs to be designed in Adobe and looking, fabulous, but it should be clean. It should be well structured and very well thought through. That would be the first thing. The second thing on your CV would be all those generic statements that we were speaking about earlier. Evidence, just add evidence to them, expand on it. And I don't mean make your CV really long. Try and be, very concise, but I would say turn that message about I'm very passionate. Show me how you're passionate then, and evidence it. Number 3, let's think. For your LinkedIn profile, the first thing I'd say is align it to the CV so that they match. Because if I'm seeing different information on one thing versus another, that's a red flag. So alignment. And 4th, show me that you are actively trying to find out more about being in marketing by connecting with the right people and engaging with the right content. And 5th, don't make a generic blanket communication. I've seen it multiple times where I've received a communication which has clearly gone to every agency in Scotland. Tell me what you know about me, my business, my team, my customers, what we're like to work with, and why you want to be part of it. It's got to be real. It's got to be authentic. That's what will stand out for me.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And we are almost done, but before we finish, I would love to ask you one last question. If you could text 18-year-old self about breaking into marketing, what advice would you give 18-year-old self to do in the next 48 hours?
I'd do the same thing as I did then.
What was it?
When I was 18, I was at university and I was studying corporate communications, so marketing. And I knew in the summer months that I was going to get a bit bored. So I reached out to recruitment agencies actually to say, I'd like to get some work experience. And I was quite happy to go into any route of work, any type of office environment, just so that I could be in an office. And with a view that I would get into that said office and then try and chum up the marketing team. But I was lucky enough to be posted into an oil and gas company as a marketing assistant. And lo and behold, that turned into my very first job straight away. So it's take the visible steps, be proactive, have the initiative. Just go and do it. Just go and show up.
Basically, don't waste your summer, right? If you got summer,
go and travel, go and have fun, but create a bit of time for experience too.
Definitely. Or go and just check the link in the description, guys, where I provided with the mission library where you can build CV skills, you can build social media skills, and many, many other ones that are going to help you to get your first entry-level marketing job. Thank you very much, Cerri. Thank you very much for joining us.
No bother. Thank you very much for having me.